Welcome to this tutorial on how to use the AIM spreadsheet, which is part of the PSAP program. This spreadsheet is on Excel, and just by entering the data, it will create the graphs for you and do a lot of the hard work for you. But before we get to that, I want to go to the Word documents. So you'll have these two Word documents. So this is the AIM live coding sheet, which is basically the Word version of the AIM coding sheet. So you'll need to print this out. And when you watch your videotape, you'll need to enter the times at which the activity, instruction, or management stops or starts. In order to demonstrate this, I've created like a sample AIM live coded sheet that I've already completed. So I'm going to go over that in here. So for this is an example of what you would actually write down. I've done it on the computer just to make it easy for you to read, but you can do this by hand. It's not that difficult. Actually, these new columns here, these elapsed time A, I, and M, we can probably disregard that for the moment, because by using the Excel spreadsheet, the Excel spreadsheet does this for you. So all you need to focus on are these start and stop times and then the code. So let me go over this sheet here. So you come into class and you start to take roll. So roll is management, and that takes you 1 minute and 30 seconds. After which time you go into the outline for the warm-up activities for the day. So you're introducing them to a new station approach warm-up activity. Okay, that explanation takes you until 3 minutes and 45 seconds, at which time the students start the warm-up. Okay, so during this time you're going to write down that they're doing warm-up, and then they participate in the warm-up activities until 6:50, at which time you stop them and immediately give them instructions on the drills that they are going to start the class with. And as I've stated here, I'm saying that these drills are a review of the drills that we did the day before. So the explanation is brief and they can quickly start getting into those drills. So at 8 minutes and 30 seconds, they now start the skill practice on, say, bumping the volleyball. They do this till 14:25, at which time you stop it, and then you go into an instruction on how to do the overhead pass or set in volleyball. This takes you like 2.5 minutes to do that, after which time you get them into practicing those skills and they're in activity. They do that until 24 minutes, after which time you bring them in and reorganize them, so have them sit down so you can explain to them the new game. It takes them 1 minute and 30 seconds to put the equipment away that you've told them to put away, and for them to sit down and get ready for the instructions. Now at 25:30, you start describing what the purpose of the game is. You're going to play a game with bumping and overhead passing only. There's not going to be spiking or blocking, etc. So you explain the purpose of the game, go over the rules, and then you start to get them into the game. At 28 minutes, they start playing the game, and they play this game and they're active in this volleyball game, bump and pass game, for 10 minutes and 48 seconds, at which time you stop them, and then you have them collect the equipment in and come and sit down in front of the class. That takes just over 1 minute. At that time, then you go into your closure, where you have them do some peer group interactions with explaining what they did that day and presenting to the class some of their findings or some of their thoughts. And then the class finishes at 44 minutes and 30 seconds, and you send them in to get dressed. Okay, so you're going to do that when you watch the videotape. Now, what I'm going to do here now is to go over entering this information on the Excel spreadsheet. So if I click here, Then the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go 1 minute, 30 seconds. And that was for management. And I'm going to put in here roll call. The next thing here is after management, they go into instruction. So I'm just going to click and drag here. Then I'm going to type this down at 3 minutes, 45 seconds. And I write down outline of warm-up activities. Okay. So the next thing they do is activity. And then that takes them from 3:45 to 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Okay, and then that was the warm-up. Then I have them go into instruction. And I do this till 8 minutes and 30 seconds. And my instruction is related to reviewing drills from yesterday. Okay, the next thing they do is activity. They get in to do those drills. And then they do that until 14 minutes and 25 seconds. And this is skill practice on bumping. As you can see here, as I'm entering this information here, so from 8:30 to 14:25, it's calculating the elapsed time. You can see there's a negative number down here. That doesn't matter. That's not going to be figured into the equations in the end, and we'll sort that out when we finish it up, but it doesn't make any difference. It's this stuff that's important. So the next thing we're getting into here after that is that there's going to go instruction again. So you're going to instruct them for until 16:55, and this is on instruction on overhead passing. Okay, after this, they're going to go into an activity, and this is practice overhead passing. And this goes on for 24 minutes and 00. I didn't have to enter anything there, it would have been the same that does that. After that, we're going to reorganize the students, bringing the students in. So this is management. So I'm going to say so I'm just bringing them in there, and that takes till 25:30, after which time I'm going to instruct them on the new game. I'm just going to put new game down here just to make it a little bit quicker, and that goes until 28 minutes. I can put 00 down there, but it'll make it 0 anyway. Then they go into the activity, and they're in activity for over 10 minutes. So 38 here, 48, and this is okay. After which time, at the end of the game, you call them in. So that's management. And that takes you just over a minute. That's excellent. Oh, that was wrong there. Deliberate mistake. You always want to, the minutes and the seconds always need to be separated. And the last thing you do here is that you have them into closure. So that's instruction. So, and that takes 44, 30 there, and I can put down closure. I can put 44, 30 here, and I can just put down that's the end here. Okay, so you've done that, so that's good. So while you've been doing that, the cool thing about using this Excel spreadsheet now is that it's done all the calculations for you. So when you look at the activity time, you can see there's different sheets on the bottom here. So what you have here is the AIM graph. So if I click on that, that pops up. So it gives you the percentage breakdown of how much time you spent in activity, instruction, and management. So as you can see here, it's all automatically done for you. So you can print this sheet out. The other thing that it does as well, which is new, but I think interesting, is that it breaks down. It shows you the amount of time that you spent in seconds on each of the episodes. So you have short management, instruction, activity, quick instruction, more activity, more instruction, even more activity, quick management, more instruction, a lot of activity for the game, quick management, collection of equipment, getting students in, and then you spend a little bit of time, maybe too much time, at the end of class during the closure. So I mean, but you can see how you spent time. The other thing, so you can print that up as well. The other thing you can do is when you put the comments in, it shows you this sheet here. So it shows you what you did and when you did it. So it shows you the roll call, the outline of warm-up activities, the warm-up, and how it gives you the start and stop time periods there. Okay. So anyway, this is what we're doing here in 450, and actually we're going to migrate this to all of the other Pete classes. So again, you start off using the Word templates. So you use this stuff here, print this out, write it all up on this. And again, said you only need to focus on these two columns here and that column there. We can probably get rid of this elapsed time AIM because that's going to be in the Excel spreadsheet. And then once you've done this and you've done the work of actually coding it, then you just enter the data into here and Bob's your uncle. You're done. Okay. Hopefully this helps you to be able to create the AIM component of PSAP.